Welcome to Wrong Time Watch. My name is Kevin, and today we're looking at the Formex Reef GMT 42 millimeter automatic chronometer 300 millimeter dive watch. Quite a mouthful there. But this watch has a number of different configurations. You have 6 different dial options, 6 different bezel options, and 7 different strap options for a total of 252 different configurations. I'll leave a link to the website in the description below. I encourage you to go check it out. You can play around with it, pick your different dial colors, bezel colors. Very neat website. So you have quite a few different strap options. You have this bracelet. You have this mesh bracelet here. But with this bracelet, you need a larger wrist to wear this bracelet. They have that noted on the website as well. But I'll show it to you on my wrist here, maybe in another video. Got a lot of stuff to go over here. And then you have a rubber strap option and also a leather strap option. And you can choose these, I believe, with and without this deployant. I would highly recommend this deployant. It's a carbon composite, very lightweight, very cool. It has a micro adjust as well. This little button here. So very cool. I really like what this company does. They're very innovative. So actually, let me show you one of those innovations right now. You can just remove that bezel very easily. And then you can purchase additional bezels. This one is $185. And actually 5 of them are 180. I think it's 180, 185, something like that. And then the two-tone is $220. The price for this watch right here in my hand is $2,090, but you can option them from the low end is $1,800, and then the top end is $2,225. That would be with this bracelet and with the two-tone ceramic bezel. So a couple more innovations I'll show you right off the bat. Very easily to change out these bracelets. They have a quick attach, quick release button right here. Just push that towards the center of the watch and it comes on and off very easily. It's a little easier to do when you're not under a camera here. Alright, so has a flat sapphire crystal front and back, display case back. Very good looking movement there. Let me zoom in a little bit, I'll show that to you. This is a Sellita SW330-2 GMT, and this is the highest grade of the Sellita 330-2. 56 hours of power reserve, and since this is the chronometer, it's -4 plus 6 seconds, and that's over a 15-day testing period. So very nice movement there. Okay, back on the dial, you see we have a mixture of applied and printed, we call them indices. You have printing on here, and then you have those indices. Also, you have an applied logo and the printed logo. This is the black dial. It does have sunburst to it, so it's not a pure black dial. Sunburst isn't really showing up at the studio lighting. Maybe on your end of the screen it is, but you can see there's the AR coating applied to the crystal as well. And of course you have the 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on all the way around the dial for the GMT hand. And also the bezel does rotate as well. So you can track 3 different time zones. This is an office GMT. So what that means is the hour hand does not jump. You move the GMT hand. So let me demonstrate that here. We'll get the watch out of the danger zone, which is typically between 10 and, I don't know, 2, 3 o'clock, something like that. You want to make sure you're out of a date change. Actually, I should know I'm out of a date change because of where the GMT hand is, but move it just in case. Let's put it there at 8 o'clock. So now push the crown all the way back in. So the first position out is hand winding. So you're increasing the power reserve up to 56 hours by winding the mainspring. So pull it out another click. And you can see the second hand has not stopped, so we're not in hacking yet. So if I rotate it clockwise, moving the GMT hand, see, so it wasn't actually 8 o'clock, that would be 8 plus 12, 20. And then if we rotate the other way, we'll change the date. See the date window down there at 6 o'clock. The date is rotating, so advancing by 1 day at a time. Pull the crown all the way out, and then we're in time set and hacking, so the second hand has stopped. And let's put it back to the 10-10 position. Right there, push the crown in and screw it down. So yes, this is a screw down crown, 300 meters water resistance, and that is a signed crown. You can see here the watch is a mixture of brushed and polished surfaces. It is mostly brushed. We do have the polished chamfer on the edge here, and then this lug here is also polished. This has a ding on it. This is a like a promotional or a tour watch, so it's not indicated. It doesn't really indicate anything with the quality of the watch. It's just a tour sample. So yeah, nice mixture of brushed and polished surfaces. I really do like this bracelet. It's comfortable on wrist. I think it looks pretty neat. And you can see when I have it on wrist, you can see the light just play on this here. Alright, so the loom is BGW9 loom on the hands, on the markers, and the bezel insert. This is a loomed bezel insert, which we'll see the loom towards the end of the video here. I'll compare it to my SKX. Here it is side by side for a size comparison. These are both 42 millimeter watches. Formex is not nearly as thick. It's about 2 millimeters thinner, and it does have an additional 100 meter water resistance over the SKX. It's actually pretty thin. It's 11.5 millimeters thin. And considering it is 300 meters water resistance, I think that's good. Let's talk about the bracelet now. We do have screw links, screw pins, so very easy to size. Also, something else this has is a quick adjust clasp. So you just push this in and you can pull it out. You can push it in without having to activate that lever. So a very neat system. Again, very innovative Formex with all these different quick things going on here. It's really neat. I try not to play with it too much. I don't know if it'll wear it out, but you can see in here it does have these ball bearings too. So that's how the bezel click works. And this is a bi-directional 48 click bezel, as a GMT watch should be. So you can rotate the bezel in both directions. And very positive, really no play to it. So very nicely made watch. And I did have it upside down. That's one thing, I guess I'll call it a complaint, or maybe it's just me. Sometimes I'll put the watch on upside down because of this protrusion on the side here. Not used to having that. I think it looks neat, but it's thrown me off from time to time. Just so used to whatever side of the watch sticking out being the side with the crown on it. So we do have solid end links, solid links. That is a milled clasp. Oh, it has some little pieces of plastic on there. That's a good idea too, because a lot of times you'll get scratches on a bracelet, and that will prevent that. That's really slick. I just noticed that now for the first time. Now, these guys seem to think of everything. I think their first watch is the one that had the suspension system in it, the Formex Essence. I had one of those a year or two ago. Each of these links is fully articulating as well. So again, very comfortable on wrist. And then you can see the case back is signed with the Formex logo. Nice engraving there. So let's talk about the dimensions, and I'm going to pause the video and I'll throw on each strap, show you each strap, and then I'll do another video with me actually putting them on and off, just for the sake of time here. So we already talked about all the bracelets. All right, so dimensions. Lug to lug, 49 millimeter. 42 millimeter case diameter, and I measure that from this point to this point. That's also mentioned on their website. There you can get a sense of the sunburst on that dial. 48 millimeter, that would be this dimension here. I don't typically measure that, but 48 from here to here. So the watch is nearly as wide as it is tall. It doesn't really mean anything. Wearing on wrist, you don't notice it. It's just a little bit different than usual. So 48 from here to here. Again, as I mentioned, 11.5 millimeter thick, which is quite thin for a 300 meter dive watch. It also has a GMT function, which adds to thickness. 22 millimeter lug width, and this bracelet does taper down to 20. 7.6 millimeter crown, and I weighed the watch head at 82 grams, and this bracelet size for my 6.5 inch wrist weighs in at 78 grams, so total weight of 160 grams. In this configuration here, with the mesh bracelet, the mesh bracelet weighs 66 grams. The rubber strap with that carbon composite deployant weighs in at 28 grams. And then the leather strap weighs in at 19 grams. So I'll let you do the math there if you want to figure out the total weight with this 82 gram watch head. So let's get this on wrist. And then I'll throw each of the other ones on real quick to show you how those look. I will pause the video in between. A little bit tight because I had the micro adjust out, but there we go. So I have a 6.5 inch wrist with a 52 millimeter wristband. And you'll have to let me know after I've put all these different straps on which strap you prefer. This one here again is $20.90. If you want to save a little bit of money, you can go to just a leather strap without that deployant system, but man, I'd have a really hard time picking one over the other. I've worn it on all bracelets, all straps I should say. I'll just show you, I will show you me putting on the mesh one. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. I'm looking at my hands, not at the screen. So there it is on the mesh. And it does have that quick adjust system again. And these links are very neat. You can see there. They look like mesh, but they're actually separate links that are screwed in. So this one unfortunately is too big for my wrist. How did I put it on upside down? I thought I was being smart. Anyway, bracelet's on upside down, but it'll wear the same. I would probably go with this if they fit my wrist. The problem is you can see the bracelet's kind of, the mesh strap here is kind of suspended off my wrist. And that's just the way that it works with these fitted end links. It doesn't allow the bracelet to rotate about that point there, so it just sticks out. I'll take it off my wrist and I'll show you. They're recommending a 7-inch wrist, 17.5 centimeter. I think you probably even have to go bigger than that. Depends on how your wrist is shaped. Here, let me show you. You can kind of see what I'm talking about here. I'm pulling the strap down, and then the watch head the other direction. You can see this bend here. So that's what's preventing it from wearing well on my small wrist. Alright, we'll pause the video and I'll throw these other straps on. You know, I might as well just show you the installation of the rubber strap as well. It has a similar system here with this center pusher that you can just push up, So let's see if I'm putting this one on the right way. Again, very easy to do, even easier without a camera and doing it extended away from your face. So there we go. Very comfortable strap here. And that was super easy to do. But I keep putting them on. Nope, that's the right way. I don't think it really matters. Whatever you're comfortable with. If you want the deployment action going this way or down the other way, I don't think it really matters. So there we go on that rubber. You know, you have to look at the website. I don't remember the prices of each of the straps. I think this one is about $30 more than the leather. And I would say that's because it has those levers or those bars on there that you push, tabs, whatever you want to call these guys right here. The leather doesn't have that. The leather just has your typical quick release spring bars right there. So let's see if I can, let's see, it goes that way. Push that. Pull this. Easier for me to do it this way. Oops. Get that in there, then pull that down. There we go. Yeah, so let me know which strap you would prefer. I'm kind of partial to the leather actually, but I like that bracelet. I like the rubber and I like the mesh, but the mesh doesn't work, so that makes that easy for me. No, I did that upside down, whatever. Try to do it the other way. Hey, maybe I did this on purpose to show you can work the deployment in either way. So there we go on the leather, black leather. I've worn this watch on all the straps, even the mesh. The mesh was about a day. I figured out it didn't fit for my wrist, but all very comfortable options. And with that, let's take a look at the loom. Before we get there, if you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it, and it really does help me out. Okay, so we have the Formex Essence on the left here with that BGW9 loom. It's not quite as bright as the Lumibright on the Seiko, my SKX009 on the right. By eye, the Seiko is a little bit brighter for me to see, but again, the indices are larger and the hand's a little bit larger. But I really do like the loom bezel on this Formex Essence. So that will conclude this video. As always, thank you for your time and thank you for watching.